युहुन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं किं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाभिवृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ईशावास्यमिदं समस्तभुवनं त्यक्त्वार्थगेहादिकं ब्रह्मण्येव मुमुक्षुणा नवरतं निष्ठाविधेयात्मनि अर्हत्वाय च तत्र कर्मविहितं कार्यं पुरा निष्फलम् विद्वानित्थमुपाचरन् हि भजते येपात्मेश्वरम् भिन्नोऽस्माद्विषयोऽन्धतमसः लोकान् प्रयात्यात्मः
संसारं यदविद्यया कलयते
स्वात्मन्ययं ह्यात्मः तत्त्वं
निश्चलमात्मनोऽपि जगवत्
चित्तात्तादीन्द्रियं सर्वव्याप्यपविक्रियं रविमरुद्वह्न्यादिचेष्टादधत् नेदीयो विदुषां विभात्य विदुषां दूरस्थवद्यत्पुनः सर्वान्तर्बहिरास्थितं तदयते भूतेषु सर्वेषु यः भूतान्यात्मनि तत्र पश्यति च यः भूतानि यस्याप्यसौ आत्मैवास्ति यदा तदास्य विदुषः कशोकमोहोदयः आत्मासौ विभुरभ्रवत्प्रविमलः भास्वानलिङ्गोतनुः शुद्धोपापहतः प्रभुः सकलदृक् मुक्तो मनीषी ध्रुवः सर्वेषां बलिभूस्वभूस्सममयः संवत्सराख्यप्रजानाथेभ्यो विदधद्यथोचितमिमान् अर्थान् समीष्टे स्वयं। So we have come up to the end of the commentary on fourth verse. This fourth verse is basically summarizing the content of what we find in 8th mantra and its commentary in the Ishavasya Upanishad. Towards the end of last class, we saw that there is a special usage, samamayaha. Samamayaha. Samamayaha iti sarvatmakaha. This is what he is saying. Samamayaha, sarvatmakaha. How do you get that meaning? Samamayaha. So we are just quickly running over it. So sarvatmakaha. In fact, I was just thinking about it, and later it just came to my mind that there is a usage in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So I think he has just kept that in mind, and Ramaraja has used that. In the fourth adhyaya of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we have a certain passage which speaks of how from one sharira to other sharira, so this Atman moves and so on. So there are some beautiful similes which are given in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In the fourth adhyaya, this is fourth Brahmana. So this is actually called Shariraka Brahmana. So this basically describes the jivas, movement and so on. That is why it is called Shariraka Brahmana. So there, the third mantra, Tadyatha Trinajalayuka Trinasyantangatva, says. So how at the end of one's life in this sharira, so one catches another sharira by the thought process itself. So this is described. Then it further describes Tadyatha Peshaskari Peshaso Matramapadaya. Peshaskari means the one who works with the goldsmith. Peshaha means Suvarnam. So one who works with gold is called Peshaskari. Tadyatha Peshaskari Peshaso Matramapadaya Anyan Avatarang Kalyanataram. So he picks up something else. So he turns a piece of gold into some other form. So similarly, this Sharira takes another form. So this is what it describes. After saying that, so there is a mantra which says this Maya, that Maya, that Maya. It lists almost a dozen things. I just read. There you will find the phrase Sarva Maya. I just tell you. Sava ayamatma brahma vijnana mayo mano mayah prana mayah chakshur mayah shrotra mayah prithvi mayah apo mayah vayu mayah akasha mayah tejo mayah kama mayo krotha mayo dharma mayah sarva mayah Tadyade tadidam mayodo mayaha iti yathakari yathachari. It goes. There you find Ayamatma Brahma Vijnanamayaha Manomayaha Kamamayaha Etanmayaha Tanmayaha. Having said all that, the Shruti says Sarvamayaha. Then it says idam mayaha ado mayaha. So whatever you want to describe, so it just says. Now here Ramaraja has used sama mayaha. The sama shabda is sarva vachaka. One of the meanings for sama is sarva. So therefore he has used sama mayaha. What does it mean? Sarvatmakaha. So this Mayat Shabda basically is used in the sense of Vikara. It transforms into another. It is not a real transformation, but it is that kind of a description. Samamayaha iti sarvatmakaha. So this is one thing which I wanted to clarify. So we just quickly brush through in the end of the last class. Now one more thing which was asked in the discussion session is, how does this form Manomi come about? So this is in the second line of the commentary of this verse. In fact, I said, so I have to consult with the Vaiyakarana. I did so also. So as far as we understand, this Manomi is not possible, this form. Manu is the dhatu. So Tanu is the dhatu. It has both Atmanepada and Prasnepada. Tanu vistare. How does it go? Tanute tanvate tanvate. So this is Atmanepada. Parasmaipada, tanoti, tanutaha, tanvanti, tanoshi, tanuthaha, tanutha, tanomi, tanuvaha, tanvaha, tanumaha, tanmaha. Both forms are there. So now if you see this Tanudhatu and Manudhatu, they are in the same Gana. If it is available, if the usage is available in Parasmaipada, then Manomi is fine. Okay, like Tanomi. But here, this Manu, Manute, Manvate, Manvate, it is only listed as Atmanepada. That is how the Kosha is. Perhaps Ramaraya got a hint, or maybe somewhere he might have seen, I don't know. But definitely this has not been codified in the printed text as Parasmaipada Dhatu also. So, but Manomi is the phrase that he has used. And not only here in this work, I confirmed with another scholar, if he has seen this Bhagavad Gita's commentary, there also he uses Manomi, Ramaraya. So Ramaraya uses this. So we don't know if there is some other kosha which lists this Manudhatu as Parasmaipada also. In which case, Manomi is perfectly fine. But as long as it is there in Parasmaipada, this is justifiable. If it is not so, then we don't know. So this is not acceptable. In fact, we see some of these usages in very early works like Ramayana. See, a few days back, Surya was asking me. So we were reading some verse in Ramayana. What is it? Kurmi. We have the word Kurmi used in Ramayana in many places. And one of the very striking uses, which I distinctly remember, is Sita using it to Rama. Rama uses Nakurmi Sadrisham Priyam, etc. He uses. Sita uses to very, very strong terms. Since it is anyway Ramanavami, I just tell you. She says, Natvam kurmi dashagriva bhasma bhasmar hatejasa. There cannot be a greater insult to Ravana than this statement. But she was bold. She says, He bhasmarha is the addressing word. You are one who has to be turned into ashes. Okay, you deserve that. He bhasmarha. But somehow I forgive you and I am not turning you into ashes. Natvam kurmi dashagriva bhasma kurmi. I am not turning you into ashes. I can do. By my Vativratya Agni, I can do, but I am not doing. He says, Natvam kurmi dashagriva bhasma bhasmar hate jasa. Anyway, so that apart, this kurmi is also not. See, we know kurvaha kurmaha we have. Karoti kurtaha kurvanti, karoshi kurthaha kurtha, karomi kurvaha kurmaha. But kurmi is not something which is known. But kurvaha gives something like that. If you look at, so then, so kur me, so kurmi. So if there is a this vikarana pratyaya, if it is not there, then this will become simply kur. Kr will become kar, and then that will become kur, and then it will become kurmi. So this is how one can think of. But once this pratyaya comes, so then this will not be acceptable. Anyway, there are some usages. This manomi is to be perhaps taken like that. So that is all I wanted to tell you. So this was a clarification which was sought during discussion session. Okay. So having said that, we can now move on to the next verse, fifth verse. So let us read that. Atmanam yavupasate
आत्मानं य उपासते आत्मानं य उपासते
dadhati te
दधति ते
svabhavikim brahmatam
स्वाभाविकीं ब्रह्मताम्
karyam brahmatu ye bhajanti karyam brahmatu ye bhajanti karyam brahmatu ye bhajanti taime hiranyagarbham padam taime hiranyagarbham padam taime hiranyagarbham padam ये विद्यां समुपासते मलदृशः ये विद्यां समुपासते मलदृशः ये विद्यां समुपासते मलदृशः गच्छन्ति तेन्धं तमः गच्छन्ति तेन्धं तमः गच्छन्ति तेन्धं तमः देवादीनपि यान्ति हन्तकुधियः देवादीनपि यान्ति हन्तकुधियः देवादीनपि यान्ति हन्तकुधियः देवादिपूजापराः देवादिपूजापराः Devadipujaparaha. There only one correction, so it is basically splitting. In the last part of the verse, hanta, a separate word. You should not club with kudhiyaha. Hanta, kudhiyaha, they are two separate words. So here, basically, what Ramaraya does is to summarize the content of 6 mantras. So 6 mantras starting with Andhantamah Pravishanti. There are 2 sets of 3 mantras in Ishavasya Upanishad. Following this, the one which we read, 8th mantra. So we have 2 sets of 3 mantras. Bhagavad Pada also, before introducing these mantras, writes a fairly elaborate introduction to make us appreciate what is being talked about in the next 6 mantras. So here Ramaraya tries to sort of paraphrase all that. What is important at this stage is to make a review of what has been done and what is going to be stated. This is what was felt by Bhagavad Pada in his commentary. Therefore, he writes the longest introduction while introducing this mantra. Here, if we see Ramaraya, the last quarter, Hanta, is a sort of exclamation. Exclamation not out of a pleasant situation, but out of a certain deep concern and anguish that he has in his mind. So that is how this Hanta has come. Devadinapi yanti hanta kudhiyaha. Kudhihi means kutsitadhihi. Kutsitadhihi yasya saha kudhihi. Kutsitaha raja, puraja, something like that. So Sudhiyaha Devadi Puja Paraha. Okay. So before I move on to explain this, I would like you to listen to this commentary which has been given by Bhagavad Pada as a prelude to introducing the next 6 mantras. I will also very quickly chant the mantras. They are not very difficult to understand by listening to them itself, because they are simple. Andhantamah pravishanti ye vidyam upasate tato bhuya ivate tamaha yavu vidyaya agrataha. This is the mantra. This 9th mantra. Then Anya Devahur Vidyaya Anyada Ahura Vidyaya Anya Devahur Vidyaya Anyada Ahura Vidyaya Iti Sushrumadhirana Yenastadvicha Chakshire Vidyancha Yastadvedo Bhayag Saha Avidyaya Mrityum Tirtva Vidyaya Mritamashnute. The first set of 3 mantras. You will also see here, so here he mentioning this what happens. Ye avidyam upasate maladrishaha. Okay. So this is what Ramaraja also says. Okay. So here Vidya and Avidya, these terms also have to be very carefully understood. So that is why Bhagavad Pada tries to give an elaborate commentary before this. If you just look the mantra as it is, Andham Tamaha Pravishanti Ye Avidyam Upasate. So those who do the upasana of avidya, they enter into deep darkness. Right? Andhan Tamaha Pravishanti Ye Avidyam Upasate. Upasate means keep contemplating on it. Always keep thinking, so engaging with that. Tato bhuyaiva te tamaha yavu vidyayam rataha. So those people, okay, who are committed to vidya, they will enter into greater depths of darkness. Tato bhuyaiva te tamaha yavu vidyayam rataha. So how is this possible? This vidya, in fact the previous mantra said, the one who has this Atma Vidya. So he transcends Shoka and Moha, and the nature of Atman was also described. So how do we understand this? This Vidya in the Upanishad generally means Atma Vidya only, and the context is also Atma Vidya, but then the mantra says that this fellow will enter into greater depths of darkness. So this has to be understood. Therefore, Bhagavad Pada decided to present a summary of what was done and what is going to be discussed. So he beautifully paraphrases what has been stated before and what is going to be stated. So I will very quickly read through this Bhashya, and then we will take up this verse. Here he says, Atra Adyena Mantrena Sarvaishana Parityagena Jnana Nishtha Bhukta Prathamo Vedartha. So Prathamo Vedartha, Adyena Mantrena means Ishavasya Midam Sarva. Adyena Mantrena Sarvaishana Parityagena Jnana Nishtha Bhukta. Prathamo Vedartha means Mukhya. So that is the main import. Prathamo Vedartha. In fact, even Ramaraja, if we recall, he was mentioning that the very first mantra itself is sufficient. It is just summarizing the content of all the 4 first sutras of Brahma Sutra also he was mentioning. इति प्रथमो वेदार्थः. Then अज्ञानां जिजीविषूणां ज्ञाननिष्ठा असंभवे. If that is not possible, then what are we supposed to do? कर्मनिष्ठा कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेद् इति कर्मनिष्ठा उक्ता द्वितीयो वेदार्थः. So if you understand the import of Veda, the primary import of the Veda, the main purpose for which it has come is to take through Jnana Marga. But those who cannot adopt, for them, Dvitiyo Vedartha Kurvanneveha Karmani. So this is Dvitiyo Vedartha. Anayoscha Nishthayoho Vibhagaha. In fact, he further moves on and then says, so a very clear distinction has been made as to who has to follow what and so on and so forth in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. He cites a few mantras from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So this also incidentally gives us an indication that Acharya has this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and perhaps he has even commented that before commenting even this. That is a possibility. Anyway, he is just citing, so this doesn't conclusively prove that, but definitely those mantras he has in his mind, and while commenting some of these mantras, we can see that he more or less follows the same thing. Okay, the whole thing was in his mind. Anyway, so here he says, so kameta jayame syati ityadina ajnasya kaminaha karmaniti manaye vasya atma vagjaya ityadi vachanat ajnatvam kamitvam च कर्मनिष्ठस्य निश्चितम् अवगम्यते. So he is just citing some mantras. So this karmanishtatvam and jnananishtatvam are two margas. So those who cannot adopt the first one, they have to resort to the second one. So this is what has been nicely connected even by Ramaraya in the first thing. So he introduces this arhatvaya chatatra karma. How does this lead to that? If you want to move from Dvitiya Vedartha to Prathama Vedartha, what is it that you have to do? Arhatvaya chatatra karma vihitam. That is how he builds the bridge between the two. Having said this, so Acharya goes and then he says, जायाद्येषणात्रय संन्यासेन च आत्मविदां कर्मनिष्ठा प्रातिकूल्येन आत्मस्वरूपनिष्ठैव दर्शिता. जायाद्येषणात्रय संन्यासेन च आत्मविदां. In fact, we have this Maitreyi Brahmanam in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad itself. At some stage, Yajnavalkya comes and announces rather. Okay. So to the two wives, Maitreyi and Katyayani. So I want to actually move to the next stage in my life. Okay. So I would like to share whatever I have acquired till now, the wealth among the two of you. So this is what he is trying to say. So similarly here you see, Yeshanatraya Sannyasena. So he has, Yajnavalkya decided, no more Yeshana, gone. So I have to go to this Atyashrami. So I have to go to that. So for that he takes permission. So Jayad Yeshanatraya Sannyasena Atmavidam Karmanishtha Pradikulyena. Okay. So Karmanishtha Pradikulyena Atmaswarupanishtaiva Darishita. Okay. So if you do not have any kind of yeshana, so this is the marga that you have to choose. So this has been stated. So that is what even Yajnavalkya, through that story, the Upanishad tells us, the storyline. If yeshana is not there, you take that ashrama, which is more suitable. Kim prajaya karishyamo yeshanno ayamatma ayam lokaha. So we have this great wealth. Kim pradaya karishyamaha. What are we to do with that? Yeshannaha ayamatma ayam loka. This is the greatest wealth that we have. Ye tu jnananishtaha sannyasinaha tebhyaha. असुर्यानामते लोका इत्यादिना अविद्वन्निन्दाद्वारेण आत्मनो याथात्म्यम्. Okay, so he has come up to the 8th mantra now, having summarized अविद्वन्निन्दाद्वारेण, that is how it started, असुर्यानामते लोकाः. आत्मनो याथात्म्यं सपर्यगात् शुक्रम्, is the last mantra that we saw in the previous class. इत्येतदन्तैः मन्त्रैः उपदिष्टम्. Now he says, ते ह्यत्र अधिकृताः न कामिनः तथा च श्वेताश्वतराणां मन्त्रोपनिषदि. He is quoting something. अत्याश्रमिभ्यः परमं पवित्रं प्रोवाच सम्यग् ऋषिसङ्घजुष्टम्. ऋषिसङ्घजुष्टम्, what does it mean? ऋषिसङ्घैः जुष्टम् means सेवितम्. Okay, ऋषिसङ्घजुष्टम् अत्याश्रमिभ्यः परमं पवित्रम्. Okay, परमं पवित्रं यद् आत्मज्ञानं. So this was shared with atyashramibhyah. Atyashramibhyah means, so these normal 3 ashramas, those who have left, okay, taken to the 4th ashrama, for them this was shared. That is what the Upanishad also says. ये तु कामिनः कर्मनिष्ठाः कर्म कुर्वन्त एव जिजीविषः. कर्म कुर्वन्त एव जिजीविषवः. So those who are completely wedded to karma kurvanta eva jijivishaha tebhyah idamuchyate andhantamah pravishanti. Now you see, andhantamah pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. So this is obviously, so you are entering into darkness. It's a sort of censure. It is a derogatory remark. Okay. So this. So andhantamaha pravishanti. He says, ye tu kaminaha karmanishtaha karma kurvanta eva jijivishavaha. They don't have any higher goals. Karma kurvanta eva jijivishavaha. What kind of karma we'll see now. तेभ्यः इदमुच्यते अन्धन्तमः इत्यादि. कथं पुनः अवगम्यते? How do you know? Is the question that he poses. न तु सर्वेषामिति उच्यते. अकामिनः साध्यसाधनभेददोषमर्दनेन यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मीकत्वा भूतविजानतः तत्र को मोहः कश्शोकः एकत्वमनुपश्यतः इति आत्मीकत्वविज्ञानं तत् न केनचित् कर्मणा ज्ञानान्तरेण वा अमूढः समुच्चिकीषति. अमूढः समुच्चिकीषति. समुच्चिकीषा means समुच्चयितुम् इच्छा. Okay, so chi dhatu, sam ut is the prefix. Samuchaya means samaharaha. Okay, what does this actually mean? Asambaddhayoho dvayoho. So that we have to clearly understand. Those which are not connected with each other. Okay, so if they too, okay, so or rather anapekshitayoho dvayoho. There is no connect. So anapekshitayoho dvayoho. Okay? So this does not depend on that. See, if you write a part of a program and some other fellow writes another part of the program, then you have to sort of converge at a point of time. Now, if the two are not related, if you have to achieve that same thing, so then you may have to initially discuss and then come up with merging and so on. But if two are writing independently something, then there is no need. So this is how it is. Anapekshita means no connections. So if they are sort of tried, connected, now here what is being stated is this karma and jnana samuchikisha means, so both are ekapurusha anushtheya. So here Amudhaha samuchikishati means if he is not an idiot, he will not try to say that it is meant for one and the same person. Okay, so that is how. Only an idiot will try to do. That is what is implied meaning. The Amudhaha samuchikishati ihatu samuch. But here in the Shruti, if you look at, I'll just tell you, this is a little complex. So the first mantra goes like this: Andhantamah pravishanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuyaiva te tamaha yavu vidyayagna rataha. Now what is vidya, what is avidya, we have to clearly understand. So that is why this longish introduction. Having said this, this later, if you see the third mantra from this, vidyancha vidyancha yastadveda ubhayam saha. Saha means ekapurushanushteyatvena. Then it says avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnuti. Now what do we understand? So this samuchaya that we are talking about, so vidya seems to be, karma seems to be for some fellow, vidya seems to be for some fellow, right? So jnana nishtha, those who cannot adopt, for them karma nishtha. Which means these two are not observed by the same person. A person at the same point of time cannot himself commit to both karma nishtha and jnana nishtha. So this was well established right from the first mantra. Now here you see vidyancha avidyancha yastadveda ubhayam saha. Avidya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnuti. Right? So this is how the mantra goes. Avidya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnuti. Now there is a certain samuchikisha that the same person observes. Through this he achieves some fruit. Through that he achieves some other phala. So this is what this mantra seems to be saying. Therefore, it is extremely important for us to understand what is meant by vidya and avidya here. Okay? It is for that Bhagavad Pada brings in this longish introduction. He says, ihatu samuchikishaya avidvadadi ninda kriyate. Okay? There is a ninda, kriyate. Tatracha yasya yena samuchayah sambhavati nyayatah shastrato va tadiha uchyate. So this is a very interesting statement. Yasya yena samuchayah sambhavati. See, if you just conceive of this Atma Vidya, if Vidya here were to refer to Atma Vidya, then Tatra komoha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. So he sees the same Atman everywhere. For what purpose will he engage in any kind of karma? So karma is primarily to gain something which you have not gained so far. So these are the various aspects which we see with reference to karma. Ekatvam anupashyataha karma, it is impossible. Now this karma and jnana, there seems to be a certain samuchikisha. So how do we understand this term? So here he is saying yasya yena samuchayaha sambhavati. Okay, whatever can be connected with whichever thing. Okay, nyayataha, logically. Shastrataha, as per the shastra. Nyayataha shastrato va tadiha uchyate. Tad daivam vittam devata vishayam jnanam karma sambandhitvena upanyastam na paramatma jnanam. This is what we have to understand. So the vidya that he is talking about here is not the vidya which we are referring to as Paramatma Vidya. But it has to do with Devata Sambandhi. Okay? So what is Devata Vishayam? Jnanam. So Jnanam with reference to Devatas, not the Paramatma Vijnanam. What is meant by this Devata? So you can think of several Devatas blessing you with several things. There are some people whom I have seen. They will have Dridha Vishwasa on Devata. So that can be different kinds of Devatas also. And the purpose will be, so because of this I will be able to achieve. In fact, there is a person. They are all sociologists, I know. But they want to fight for some cause. And therefore they will say, this goddess Mariyai in me. Goddess Mariyai, Mariyai no phrase, Mariamman. So goddess Mariyai in me is trying to provoke me to get into this and deeply engage. So this is what they will say. Otherwise, I mean, they don't have, so Devata is all meaningless. But when they have to sort of justify, so they will say, this goddess Mariyai in me has made me fight for this cause. Understand? So this Devata means, so there is a certain Devata which is provoking me, giving impulse in me in order to accomplish this. So this may be for various purposes, we invoke various kinds of Devatas. Even in our own Shastras, we have, so Shatru Badha, if you want to do. So there is a certain Devata which you have to invoke, and there is a certain karma which has been. So different kinds of powers, okay, in various forms have been discussed in our own Shastras itself. So that is what he means by this Devata Vishayaka. So it can be for achieving a specific purpose with a specific mantra, with a specific form of a deity. Okay? So that is the kind of jnana that is being talked about here by the word Vidya. Okay? So that is what he is saying. Devata Vishayam Jnanam Karma Sambandhitvena Upanyasta. So this is quite possible. This Karma Vidya Samuchaya. So by knowing this jnana, I engage in this karma and thereby I achieve this kind of a end. So this is possible. Okay. Now he is saying, so yasya yena samuchayaha sambhavati means not with this Atma Vidya. Atmikatta Vijnanena karma impossible. But for achieving a specific end, you can engage in karma with a specific jnana, and that specific jnana is what we call as Devata Vishayam Jnanam, and that is what is to be understood as, and that can go with some karma. Not the Paramatma Vijnanam can go with karma, but this Devata Jnanam very well gels with karma. Tad Daivam Vittam Devata Vishayam Jnanam Karma Sambandhitvena Upanyastam Na Paramatma Jnanam Vidyaya Devalokaha iti Prithak Phala Shravanat Tayoho Jnana Karmanoho Iha Ekaikanushthana Ninda. Ekaikanushthana Ninda means if you do this, you get this. If you do this, you get this. Understand? So Andhantamah Pravishanti Ye Avidyam Upasate Tato Bhuyayavate Tamaha Yavu Vidyayam Rataha. There is a Ninda for both. Ninda for both. And this is very, very important to read the next sentence here. Here he says, Tayoho Jnanakarmanoho Iha Ekaikanushthana Ninda Samuchikishaya Na Ninda Paraiva. Na Ninda Paraiva means it is not primarily to discard it or demean it, but with some other thing in mind, this Ninda has been done. Okay? Ekaikasya Prithak Phala Shravanat Vidyaya Tadaro Hanti Vidyaya Deva Lokaha Natatra Dakshina Yanti Karmana Pita Lokaha. These are all various quotations. So now, finally, Nahi Shastra Vihitam Kinchit Akartavyatam Yat Tatra Hi Tatra. So what do we understand? This Ninda is, there is a Nyaya which is called Nahinda Nyaya. This Nahi Ninda Nyaya essentially means this Ninda that is being done is not for doing Ninda per se, but for doing stuti of something else. Nahi Ninda Nindyam Ninditam Pravartate Apitu Stutyam Stotum. This is just Nyaya. Okay? So this we have seen even in our childhood. Okay? So if two children are fighting, my father will say to my sister, "Avan kadakam," means, so you just say, just ignore that fellow. Okay? "Avan kadakam po," don't care. So this is not for saying that he doesn't care for me, but in order to make the other person more pleased. So this is how. So in stutyam stotum means in order to praise something, you do some kind of a ninda sometimes. So it is in that sense this has been done because each of them has its own phala and it is shastra vihita only. So this is what he is trying to conclude here. This vidya and avidya, andhantamah pravishanti is stated, but not per se for censuring them, but for praising this Atma Vijnana. So that is what you have to keep in mind. Andhantamah pravishanti, not to say that they are futile by themselves. When you say, so he is just getting into darkness means, it is a futile effort. It is not that. This is Shastra Vihita karma only is being spoken about. So let us see. Andhantamah pravishanti. So how does Acharya explain? Andhantamaha adarshanaatmakam tamaha pravishanti. In pitch darkness, adarshanaatmakam tamaha. Nothing is clear. K. Ye avidyam. How do you understand the word avidya? He says, Vidyayaha anya avidya karmetyarthaha. So here you have to just understand avidya means Vidyayaha anya. So anyarthe nahi. Okay. Tatsadrishyamabhavasya tadanyatvam tadalpata. Okay. Anyarthe nahi you have to understand. So here that is how avidya is to be understood. Okay. So avidya, I mean through ignorance nothing can be achieved. Okay. Here avidya means karmana. How do we get that meaning? Vidyayaha anya. Avidya karme tyarthaha karmanaha vidya virodhitvad tam avidyam agnihotradi lakshanam. Agnihotradi lakshanam. So this is Shastra Vihitam karma he is talking about. Agnihotradi lakshanam eva Kevalam upasate tatparas santaha anutishtanti ityabhiprayaha. Upasate means completely wedded to karma. So ultimately it will lead to this janma marana pravaha and therefore andhantamah pravishanti. This is how you have to understand this phrase. It doesn't mean that so through avidya, okay, so you do something. So that is not the meaning here. Okay, through ignorance. So that is not what is meant. So through karmas, you will end up with some fruit which is not really worthy. Okay, in the real sense. So therefore, so here he says tataha tasmat. After the tato bhuya ivate tamaha. Tataha tasmat. तस्मात् अंधात्मकात् तमसः भूयैव बहुतरमेव ते तमः प्रविशन्ति के कर्म हित्वा ये तु विद्यामेव देवता ज्ञाने एव रताः. विद्यायां रताः means देवता ज्ञाने रताः. I'll tell you, there is a important thing that we need to understand. Why is it stated that Devata Jnane Rataha Bhuya Eva Te Tamaha Pravishanti? So this is getting into some sort of a darkness. How does he say here? Vidyayam means Agnihotradi Lakshana, which means Nitya Karmanushtha. Agnihotra, etc. is Nitya Karma. So you have to do certain things which are ordained upon you. So if you perform that, so you get some phala, no doubt. But this will not lead you to the ultimate moksha, and therefore this is sort of considered inferior, and therefore tamah pravishanti. This is what was stated in the first half. The second half of this mantra, it is said tato bhuyaiva te tamaha, means that seems to be a little more stronger. Okay, the ninda seems to be little more stronger. When it is devata jnana, is what he is saying. What does it mean? It means if you engage in kamya karma. So devata jnana here, you have to understand, this devata will bless me with this kind of a bhala, and you engage in those kinds of things. So this kamya karma is much worse than nitya karma. Okay? Therefore he is saying tato bhuyaiva te tamaha. So this is devata jnana. Devata jnana means this kind of a deity I will do for this aradhana, and I will gain this, and so on and so forth. So this is considered much inferior compared to the other kind of karma. So that is what is meant by tato bhuyaiva te tamaha. Yavu vidyayam rata. Vidyayam rata means they are completely one after the other. So for this gain I do this, for this gain I do this, for this gain I do this. So those who keep completely engaging in that, so this is much worse. After that he says, Anya devahur vidyayanyadaho ravidya iti sushrumaku dhira naiyena stadvi chitakshire. This is what we have heard. That vidya phala and avidya phala. So this is what we have heard from our ancestors. This is what the next mantra says. The next mantra goes vidyancha avidyancha yastadveda ubhayam saha. You have to understand now. Vidyancha avidyancha. So vidyancha avidyancha. Avidyancha means devata jnana. Oh sorry, avidya means karma. Vidya means devata jnana. Right? Vidyancha avidyancha. So Bhashyakara says devata jnanam karma cha. Okay? Vidyancha avidyancha yastadveda. Yastadveda means yaha etat ubhayam saha ekena purushena anushteyam veda. Understand? Yastadveda means the one who understands this to be executed by him, okay, ekena purushena, okay, anushteyam veda, etat ubhayam, okay, so both of them, ekena purushena anushteyam veda, tasyivam samuchchayakarinaha ekaika purushartha sambandhaha kramena syat ityuchyate. So if he does both, means he does this nitya karma anusthana, he does engage with various other kamya karmas. So for him, he says, eka purushartha sambandhaha kramena syat. Kramena syat means in sequence. Ityuchyate. How does the mantra go? Avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashrit. So here we have to be very carefully understanding. See, avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashrit. How? What is this amrita? And what is this mrityu taranam? It was just said, ye avidyam upasate andhantam apravishanti. What is this mrityu taranam? So that is very, very brilliantly commented by Bhagavad Pada. See, here you see. Avidyaya karmana agnihotradina mrityum. What do you understand by mrityu here? He says, Svabhavikam karma jnanancha mrityu shabda vachyam. What do we understand? This is a very, very careful thing. Carefully understood. Swabhavikam karma. This Agnihotradi karma is not Swabhavikam karma. This is Shastra Vihitam karma. You understand? So Agnihotra, dhyana, etc., even if you engage, this is Guru Upadishtam karma. This is not Swabhavikam karma. Swabhavikam karma means anything that you engage, you have this, no? Yasyastra vidhimutsrijya vartate kamakarataha nasa siddhimavapnoti nasukham na parangatim. In Bhagavad Gita we have, right? So that is what he means by Swabhavika. Shastra vidhimutsrijya vartate kamakarataha. Kamakarataha means whatever comes to his mind he will do. Kamakarataha nasa siddhimavapnoti nasukham na parangatim. Nasukham means neither here nor there. Na parangatim. Now, you see, here swabhavikam karma jnanancha mrityu shabda vachyam. Mrityu shabda vachyam means nasukham na parangatim. It is a help for him. Understand? Neither sukha here. So if you just keep on suffering, moving from one suffering to another suffering, is much worse than mrityu. Right? So nasukham na paramgati. So keeping that in mind, swabhavikam karma means yatheshchaya achayitam karma. Okay? The other one is swabhavikam jnanam. The swabhavikam jnanam also should be understood only in that sense. So there is a general tendency for people to keep engaging in activities, just reading this, reading that, reading that. You see? So sometimes I really get puzzled how people are able to watch in long flights. Suppose it is quite dark, everything will be closed, the shutters will be put down, right? You are supposed to sleep, but some people will keep watching in the front of their screen. Fight. Terrible. Sometimes you just happen to see. How can anybody watch this? For a few seconds, sometimes it comes to your sight. The front fellow is watching, you open your eyes. How can anybody watch this? Is what I feel. So this is somehow swabhavikam jnanam. And similarly reading various kinds of useless material also. So this is what is meant by swabhavikam jnanam. Nasukham na paramgati. So here this is swabhavikam karma, swabhavikam jnanancha mrityu shabda vachyam. Means it has to be channelized. That is what we need to understand. That is what is the message. Yes, shastra vidhimutsrijya vartate kamakarataha. The swabhaviki cheshta means, that is why parents have to train. Initially when you are not knowing what is right, what is wrong, a certain marga has to be shown. Swabhavikam karma jnanacha mrityu shabda vachyam tadubhayam tirtva atikramya. Understand? Vidyaya devata jnanena amritam. What is amritam here? Devatatma bhavam. Okay? Devatatma bhavam ashnute prapnoti. What does it mean? It means by doing certain vasanas, you gain certain powers. See, by doing certain devatatma bhavam means, so devatas are supposed to be having certain power to bless you with something. Understand? That is the conception of devata. So Lakshmi bless you with wealth, Saraswati bless you with jnana, Durga bless you with virya, whatever you can think of, several devatas, several forms. So here, by doing that upasana, by doing repeated contemplation on that, so you gain those powers and you become more or less similar to that devata. So here he is saying avidyaya mrityum tirtva means by performing shastroktam karma you transgress your natural tendency towards those things. Okay, so that itself is a great gain. So mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnuti. Okay? So through this amrita essentially means devatatma bhavam. Ashnute prapnoti. Okay? So here this vidya and avidya are to be very carefully understood, those two terms. So that is why I thought of giving a longish introduction before we get into this verse, because it will be very confusing if you do not understand these terms. Vidya and avidya, in what sense it has been stated in the Veda. So how can one fellow perform both vidya and avidya? Right? So these are questions that arise. So here this verse basically he starts with Atmanam yaupasate. So he gains this, he gains this. That is what he will say. So how does he paraphrase, okay, the content of these mantras? So can be appreciated in the next class. So now the time is over. So we will just wind up here. But I'm sure, so those who have already read this a little bit of this Ishavasya Upanishad also, this Vidya and Avidya, so there are certain terms which will be employed and they have to be understood in the context. And that is why this anybody cannot feel that I will be able to interpret, and there has to be some uniform translation of all the words. Nothing will work. So this is what people will say. So you have employed this word and for referring to this word. So how can you change it? This is how people keep asking questions. So this is very, very true of language. The same thing. So you will use in different senses. So see, initially if you were to read na, read na, ade spelling is same. Read na, read na. How can you read as read? See, this is all just by training. I mean, we just okay. So this is what if you are not familiar with together, how will we to get her? So all these problems are there. Okay. So every language, so it will be there. They will only blame on this Sanskrit. We have to understand this. So that is why they try to give us these koshas also. This has been used in various contexts by various people. These are the possible meanings that you can have for nine. So all that is stated by Shastrakaras. So we have to just engage ourselves to get the right meaning. So that is what I wanted to convey. So we will start this verse in the next class. Om Sarve Vishakhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om